Well, hey, welcome everybody to Control Alt Achieve Live for February 27th, 2023. Thank you so much for being here, whether you're joining live or if you're watching the recording later, whatever the case. I appreciate so much you taking the time to learn with me here tonight. As always, all of the resources that we're going to be looking at tonight can be found at bit.ly/CAA-live. I'll go ahead and drop that into the chat for those that can access that, if that makes it a little bit easier for you to get into that. But everybody else can always get there at bit.ly/CAA-live. If you scroll on down to the second page of that document, that's where you're going to see the resources we're going to be taking a look at here tonight in just a little bit. Give you guys just a moment to get settled in and get that pulled up. While you're doing that, real quick introduction. So hi everybody, my name is Eric Kurtz. I'm an education technology specialist up in Northeast Ohio. I support about 35 school districts up here. That's my day job. And then on the side, I also run a website called Control Alt Achieve. And that's where I share out all of my EdTech resources and videos and templates and projects and all kinds of great stuff. So a lot of ways you guys can connect with me. At the top of that document, you'll see the Control Alt Achieve blog, and then lots of other ways to connect: email, Twitter, YouTube, my email newsletter, the email discussion group, lots of different ways that you can connect, find what works best for you. In addition to that, we do have several upcoming streams tonight. Of course, we're here together, but over the month of March, there are 3 more that are scheduled. Typically, these are Monday nights, so you can kind of plan ahead and see when we're going to be having these. I think there's one that I'll be missing because of some travel, so mid-March, we'll have a week off there, but otherwise, look forward to being with you guys on typically Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can always add these to your calendar, or you can add the entire Control Alt Achieve calendar to your Google Calendar and never miss a thing. All right, now, as much as I'm going to be sharing cool things with you tonight, I want to hear from you guys too. So please do leave feedback throughout this session tonight. I'm keeping an eye on the chat as best as I can over here on a side monitor. So if there's something you want to share, please throw it in the chat. I would love to hear from you. Questions, comments, suggestions. You can also drop comments right here in the document. There's even a Google form that you can leave feedback in as well. All right, very good. Well, again, hopefully that gave everybody a chance to get settled in and get things pulled up one more time. bit.ly/CAA-live will get you to this document. All right, well, I think we were going to go ahead and let's move into our resources here tonight and take a look at what we're going to be exploring. So I'm going to head on down to page 2, where we're going to see our links for tonight. As usual, I've got a few things from around the web, cool things I've come across, and then I've got a few things from my blog, things that I have been sharing recently. So we're going to touch on each one of these. All right, let's get in and get set. Oh, and by the way, I'm seeing a bunch of activity in the chat. So hey, welcome Karen, welcome Peggy, welcome Amber. Thank you so much, everybody who is here. Again, I really appreciate seeing all the folks chatting away. Thanks so much for being here. All right, well, let's go ahead and get on into this. So our first resource we're going to be taking a look at is called Giant Steps. All right, so what is this? Well, this is brand new. This is from the same folks who make Pear Deck. So if you're familiar with Pear Deck, same folks do this. Love Pear Deck, an amazing resource to be able to do formative feedback during your class, to give every student a voice, to get everybody involved. Well, they are now doing something similar, but it's called Giant Steps. And what this is a free gamified practice tool. There is a free version and a paid version, similar to the way Pear Deck does, but the free version, very robust. This provides independent practice for your students, but it also does allow for collaborative games where the entire class can play together as well. What you do with this service is you can create your own practice sets, or you can use tons of practice sets that are available in their public library as well. And altogether, this is really geared towards student motivation. There's custom avatars, there's gamification, there's feedback, there's rewards, all to help motivate students. So let's take a look at how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to the Giant Steps website, pull that up. Give that a moment to pop up. There we go. And of course, you can check out all the great information they have on the site, but I'm just going to go ahead and log on in here and we'll get on into my account. All right. So I'm logged in as a teacher. When you go to log in, you can be a student or a teacher. So I'm logged in as a teacher. I'm going to give you just a really quick overview of what this looks like as a teacher. So basically here I can set up classes. And so you can see I have one class, no real students here, just demo accounts like I normally use here with one student who I've had join this. But you can set up your classes here. You can also add those classes right from Google Classroom, which is actually what I did. I just pulled in one of my demo Google Classrooms. You can also do a link if you want to give a link for students to join that way as well. Now, next up, within these classes, you can create or you can add what they call practice sets. And so these are going to be the things that the students are actually practicing. In this case, I threw in a math one because, well, I used to teach math, and I threw in one for French because I took French in high school. So I just picked a couple things that I thought, but again, you would probably be picking things that are consistent for the class you are teaching. You can then create assignments where you push those out to the students, which I have done that here. Very easy to come here and create an assignment where you'll choose the practice set that you wish to push out to your students. And there's lots of settings there that you can do with that. Now, as far as getting those practice sets, again, your library, that is where you're going to find the ones that you have added. But where do you get them from? Well, there's the public library, and the public library has loads and loads, and they're adding more all the time of these practice sets that cover a wide range of subject areas and grade levels. Now, again, there is a free version and a paid version. So some things that have the little crown on it, that'll let you know it's part of the premium version, but there's a lot that are included in the free version here as well. Now, that's if you just want to use the ones that are created for you. You can also just make your own, and there's no limit to doing that. You can go to your library and say you want to create a practice set. I started doing that for addition, nothing fancy. I just wanted to try it out. So yeah, really complicated here. I got, adding numbers, but it was really simple to do. You can come here and say, I want to add a new question. You can do multiple choice, text response, numerical, or drawing. All of those are part of the free version. The premium has diagramming and classification as well, but super simple, very easy to build your own practice sets as well. So what's that look like for a student then? Well, here's my student. So I'll pull my student up here. This is my demo student. And you'll see that when my demo student comes here, they'll see any of these practice sets that I pushed out. And the idea is not just to do it once, but to do them again and again and again, and to master these and to see the improvement and to earn XP, experience points, that then they can use that and they can get tickets and they can spend the tickets and they can do all kinds of fun things with those. So there's a lot of motivation built into this. But the idea is I could come in here and I could choose one of these practice sets, pull that up, and it's going to go ahead and take me through these questions. In this case, we're doing the distributive properties. So we're going to have, let's see, negative, we're going to have, yeah, I think that's right. Doing a quick check here. Good, I did. I got it right. Yay. And you can do your own custom avatar. That's supposed to be me that you just saw pop up there on the side. And then you move on to the next question. And again, I will exit out of these, but just wanted to show you what it looks like when a student gets in and starts going through these practice sets here. So we'll go ahead and jump on out of that. But again, the students can then earn experience points. You can track to see how much they have been doing, how the class is progressing, how the students are progressing. And then there's also this map they can go into where they can explore all these awesome places and they can spend their tickets to upgrade their avatar and get other cool items to add in as well. So that's a really quick overview. I know I probably didn't quite do it justice there, but I hope that just seeing a little bit of it there gives you enough of an idea that this again is all about independent practice, but also full class collaboration. Now, I don't have enough to do a full class here. I just have the one demo. I mean, I can show you the idea behind it. Basically, if you go into any of your practice sets, so if I pulled up this distributive property practice set, I could click the button that says start live session. And then the class, they basically get put together into teams and then they work to solve the problems together live as a class. So this is great for independent, but also for class collaborative practice. You can create your own practice sets, use the ones they have. And again, quite a lot available in the free version, very much along the model of how Pear Deck does things as well. So just saw this come out. I think it just came out a few days ago. Wanted to get this on your radar and thought that would be a great thing for you guys to explore. All right. Good stuff. All right, well, let's go ahead, and I'm going to clean up my tabs as we go here, because I will have way too many tabs open if I do not do that. So we're gonna clean up these tabs as we go. Okay, I think that's good. Fantastic. Well, let's move on to our next topic. And again, if you guys have questions, if you have comments, please throw them in the chat. I see Peggy saying that she is excited about how class collaboration games can be done. Yes, that is terrific. And yep, she did think that avatar looked a little bit like me. So that's fantastic. Glad to see that. All right. Next up, Teacher First reading treks. Okay, so let's talk about these. So what you have here is a website from Teachers First, and it is a free collection of virtual field trips that are based on either a piece of literature or a selected text, and they go all the way from grades from grades K up through grade 12. And each one of these virtual field trips includes a Google Maps file. That's a KMZ format. If you're not familiar with those, not a problem if you're not, but it's a Google Maps file, a KMZ format file that you can open up in Google My Maps or in Google Earth. And these map files have loads of content related to that particular piece of literature, that book, that text. There's locations and images and videos and text and all kinds of educational content that's included in there. And each one of these virtual field trips also includes an instructional strategy guide that's in PDF format. It's got activities, it's got resources to help go along with this. Now, I do a session on creating tours in Google Earth. And a big question that comes up a lot of times is, okay, that's great. It's fantastic to be able to create your own, but are there some already created? And so, yes, Google Earth has a bunch of them already created that are part of the Voyager tab. And then there's other good sites like the Google Lit Trips website has a bunch. Well, here's one more to add to the list if you're looking for already created virtual tours that include, using a map with some content. So let's check it out. Let's go there and take it for a quick spin. So here we're heading out to the Reading Treks page. Of course, you can narrow this down by the lowest and the highest grade that you want to reduce it down to, or you can search by keyword, or you can just start scrolling down through their books as well. So let's just say we go right off with our first one, the Harriet Tubman book that they have here. And by the way, if you do click the link or the picture there, it will take you out to Amazon so you can find the book that they're talking about. So if it is a book that is available, there you can just follow the link to be able to identify that book as well. All right, so let's say we want to check out this one on Harriet Tubman. Well, remember, like I said, what we've got here is we've got a map link, we've got a KMZ file, and a PDF. So the PDF, that's going to be that study or that resource guide. So this is going to tell you all the information you need to know, a synopsis of the book, the standards that are being covered in the book, and then some key ideas to help you as you're using that tour in the map. So it's got some directions to help you work through that. But then there's also extension activities and loads of resources that support this. So it's a really valuable PDF just to begin with. Now, let's go ahead and check out the map. There's two ways to explore this. One is with the one that says map link. This will take you to a Google My Maps that has already been filled in with all the information. So there's nothing you need to do but click the link. And so at this point, basically, these are all the spots. These are all of the things related to the book. So there's a whole section about the author and the publisher, but then we get into Harriet Tubman early years and the Underground Railroad, the Civil War, rebuilding a life afterwards, abolitionist friends, John Brown's places, on and on and on. And so all of these, any one of these is going to be one of these items here that if we click on the item, it's going to bring up more details about that, images, and it's going to have text and links. And if it has multiple images, you can click where it says how many photos there are, and you can click through those different photos that are included there. And so all of this can be used to bring so much more to the book that you're reading. You can either click the links on the side, or you can click on the icons over here. So if I come over here and I click on the icon itself on this side, then it's going to bring up that particular location over here on the right. Now, that's great. If you just want to click the link and use this, perfectly fine. But here's a cool thing. you're actually allowed to download the KMZ file that makes that map. So if I click there, it just downloaded that KMZ file. What does that mean? That means you could go to Google My Maps and you could make your own version of this. Now, you don't have to do that. You could just use the one that's already created here and just explore that and use that with your students. That's fantastic. No problem at all there. But if you do go to Google My Maps, you can say, I want to create a new map. And when you go to create this new map, you can then import the KMZ file. So you'll see up here in the top left, there's an import button. If I click that, I can say I want to upload the KMZ file, or KML, KMZ, either one is fine. Same idea. So if I go to my downloads here, it should be sitting here in my downloads. There's the KMZ. We'll go ahead and grab that and give that a moment. It'll take just a little moment to pull all of that in. But once it does, you'll see we're going to have our own version of that same map. And so now it's our copy. Well, so that means is we could even make changes. We could annotate this. We could add more things to it. It is going to be editable. Now we have a little pencil where we can edit the content as well and add more things to it. Students could take notes on this. Really awesome. You could do the same thing if you go to Google Earth. Google Earth allows you to upload KML and KMZ files. So if I go to Google Earth and I use the project button and I say I want to do a new project, I can say I want to create it from a KML file. And if I do that, it's going to let me go ahead and upload that KML file. Oh, maybe it will. Let's try that one more time there, buddy. I must have clicked a little too quickly there. Sorry about that. Oh, import from. Sorry, I hit the wrong link. Sorry about that. That was my fault. Import from computer. There we go. Import KML file from computer. That would make it work a little bit better. And there we go. I can choose that same KML file. And once again, there we go. We've got all of that content pulled in. And of course, now it's in Google Earth. So we can get, the whole 3D view and zoom in and explore things, up close and personal. And again, we can come over here to the side and we can open up any of these if we want to explore them over on the side. But again, I could just come here and give a click on one of them here. Actually, let me do it in present mode. That'll be even easier if I go to present mode. And now I can just give a click on these. And there we go. And it's going to pop up the little panel. You don't have as much room. Well, it's okay. You don't have as much room if you got the table of contents open, but you certainly can if you want to have that open there as well. But now as I come in and start clicking on these, it'll open up that panel over on the side. So a little bit of a different navigation, depending upon whether you're doing it in Google Earth or in Google My Maps. But either way, awesome. What a great collection of resources to help support all of these books. And they are adding new ones all the time. So this list will continue to grow as more books are added and these map files are added in along with them. So really cool stuff there. All right. Well, let's go ahead and pause for just a moment there. I did see a little bit of activity popping up over in the panel. Want to make sure that we can get to all of that. Let's see. Peggy said, what are the differences between the experiences with Google Maps and Google Earth? Is one easier to use than the other? Well, that's a good question. I would say some of the differences are going to be in Google Earth. Yeah, we're going to get a little bit more of that 3D experience, where we're zooming in. And if I get in close enough here, I'm going to stress out my, I just had to pick New York of any place to go into. Yeah, good thought, Eric. Let's just really stress out the bandwidth here. But there you go. So yeah, you can really get that up close, personal, view there that puts you really, in the location, like you're really there. That can make a really neat experience with that. And then as far as Google My Maps. I would say it's easier. It's a little bit simpler. Not that Google Earth is complicated at all. It's just a little bit more stripped down, a little simpler. And so if you want to go in and edit things, it's as simple as clicking on it, hitting the edit button, and then going in and you can, edit the content in there. Very easy to add new things to it as well. Although, Google Earth, pretty simple as well. So I would say really it's more a matter of if you're interested in the 3D view of it, or if you're looking at more of the traditional map view as well here. So now you can also change the base map if you do. Now the political map is what it's using right now, but you can switch to like a satellite map if you want to also still get some of that that more photorealistic view there as well. But we'll just go back to the standard map there. All right, very good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Amber says she cannot wait to share these with her colleagues. Yeah, I'm excited too. It was a great find. I was really excited. I do follow Teachers First. They're a great website. They share a lot of great resources. I didn't know they did reading treks. And so when I saw that they shared that, I was like, oh my gosh, how did I not know this has been sitting here this whole time? So really happy to have them now on our radar. All right. Well, I'm going to clean up all of my tabs again because I'm going to get too many things open here. So we're going to clean up a few things here and we will get back to our next link. All right. Next up, we're going to take a look at Untold. Okay, what is Untold? Okay, this is a website, but it is also a YouTube channel. So you can consume it whichever way works best for you. If you just want to go to the website, that's great. If you prefer to go to the YouTube channel, that's fine too. Either way is fine. So what this is a collection of short videos. We're talking like 2-minute long videos. So these are going to be great to just get students' attention and give them some information and use that as a starter, use that as something to get conversation going. They're intended to be compelling videos that are going to bring American history to life through the examination and exploration of people, politics, objects, arts, and more. And the real focus here is to try to shine a light on stories that don't always make it into the classroom, hence the name Untold. That's kind of the idea. It's things that maybe fall through the cracks sometimes, or at least give a little bit of a different view on some of these topics. New videos are released every week, so there's so much content coming out from them. Let's go ahead and pull up the Untold site and take a look at that. All right, so here is Untold History, and let's take a look. So when you get here, you're going to be able to go down through the different categories. So these are not individual videos. These are actually categories. And there's, like I said, lots of categories you could explore. This is mimicked on the YouTube site. So if you go to YouTube, you'll see these as playlists, but here they just have them as categories. So like maybe I want to grab the one on artifacts that made America. Well, now it's going to then bring up the individual videos that are within that. And so we've got all kinds of things from Civil War medical kits to the history of the surfboard, the invention of rubber gloves, and on and on. This is just the first page. You can go page after page after page through these. So let's say we grab something simple like, we'll just click on the medical war kits as an example here. And I won't actually play this, but I'm just going to pull it up so you can see the idea. And that's it. At this point, you could, again, click the YouTube button if you want to pop out to YouTube, or you could just play it right here as well. And again, they're real short, like maybe 2 minutes long, but really engaging, well done, neat way to get some neat content into the classroom and also get students thinking about these topics that sometimes might get missed. So wanted to get that on your radar as well. All right, let's keep on going. And that brings me now to the last of the Around the Web things before we switch over to things from my blog from the last week. And this one was a real cool surprise, the top 100 EdTech influencers. Let's go ahead and pull that website up. So this is an annual thing that is done by EdTech Digest. So they've been doing this for, I don't know, it's been a long time. I know that Chris Nesi I think he was like 2017 or something, and I remember him saying that. So this has been going on for quite a while. And what they do is they try to do like a state of EdTech each year, where they pull together like, okay, what are the real, the real hot products in EdTech? What are the big trends in EdTech? But one of the other things they focus on are people that are influential in EdTech, and they pick their 100, EdTech influencers. And if you look really close, you might recognize that mug up here in the top corner. I will zoom in here so you may be able to identify, yep, that's my face there. I was so honored and so surprised to find out that I was included in the list of 100 EdTech influencers for this year. Really appreciate that. If you do come to the site here, you can grab the copy of this for free. There's no cost or anything like that, but they do put it behind a form. So you just put in your name and email address, and boop, they'll send you the link for it so you can get it. So there's a little button here to purchase it for free, so to speak, but it's real simple, just a quick little form you fill out. And the whole magazine is really great. It's a large PDF that, again, talks about what's trending in ed tech, what are the big topics we should be looking at, but also does a really nice little bio on all 100 of these ed tech folks. Now, I know quite a few of the people in here. There's people like Matt Miller and Monica Burns, Mike Lawrence, Roxy Thompson, Amanda Fox, Katie Ritter. Awesome people that I am just honored to count as friends and to be alongside them in this. But so many other people that I was like, I don't think I know this person. And it's like, okay, well, obviously these are people I need to connect with. And so it's a great way to be able to grow your PLN with a group of some awesome folks there. So again, thanks so much to EdTech Digest. And well, thank you guys so much. Karen saying thank you, and Peggy saying thank you as well. Really, really appreciate that. So do check that out. Hopefully you will connect with some other amazing people as a result of that. All right. Well, what we're going to do now is switch over to the second portion of our EdTech links of the week, which is going to be things that I have shared recently on my blog. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about is a collection of free media resources for projects. Okay, so let me explain how this came about. So I was doing some sessions at FETC, the Future of Educational Technology Conference, and one of those sessions I was doing was for the Pear Deck folks. We just talked about Pear Deck with the Giant Steps example, but doing a session for Pear Deck, and I was talking about ways to make your slideshows more beautiful, to beautify your Pear Deck slideshows. And so I pulled together my list of media resources that you can use for free when you're creating a slideshow, for example. So that was great to take some time and update the list. It's something I've maintained over the years, but it had gotten a little bit out of date. So I updated that. And then after doing that session, I thought, you know what, I really should share this more broadly. So I spent a little bit more time and I updated it a little bit more and expanded it a little bit more. And I went ahead and put it out onto my site. So if you do head to the link here for free media resources, you're going to get a collection of things that are completely free. They're either Creative Commons or they're public domain. They are copyright-free resources. And they include things like my favorite spots to get, for example, free photos, things like, Unsplash or Pixabay and so on down the line. Places to get free clip art and icons like Flat Icons or Icon Mania and on down the line. Places to get free animated GIFs like Tenor or Giphy or Lottie files. Places for free fonts and text, whether it's Google Fonts or FontMeme, FontSpace, TextGiraffe, all those different great resources. Places for free sound effects. Again, Pixabay does a great job of that, but the YouTube Studio Audio Library also provides loads of free sound effects for you. And also free music, sites that allow you to get free music that you can use in all of your projects as well. Then we've got free videos. If you're doing a video project, you want to include those, you're putting a video into your slideshow, whatever the case might be, places that have B-roll footage that is free and you're allowed to use. And I think the last thing I had was free design templates. So this would be more slides oriented, like Slides Mania and Slides Carnival and things like that. Now, these don't have to just be used, obviously, for slideshows. This is media that you can use for a video you're creating, for a poster you're making, certainly for a slideshow or whatever the project is. And I will try to keep this up to date. So as time goes on, I will return to this post and I'll add more resources, because I guarantee you I have left some things off this list. So please let me know if there's something like, oh, Eric, this is really great, but you missed this great site for free photos or for free videos or for free sound effects or whatever the case is. Send it to me. I'll take a look at it and be happy to add it into this ever-growing list here. So hopefully that will be very helpful to folks. And I'm really excited to see what you create with these resources here. Good stuff. All right. And yeah, Peggy, thanks so much. I'm glad. Yes, thanks for saying that is a fantastic compilation of media resources. Good stuff. All right, let's keep on going. Let's see what we have here next. Next up, oh yes, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. Yeah, let's talk about this for a moment. All right. So if you're not aware, we are coming up on Dr. Seuss's birthday. So March 2nd is Dr. Seuss's birthday. And so that is a lot of times celebrated in schools with some Dr. Seuss related activities, but it also fits into the broader Read Across America celebrations that typically go on during March. A lot of times it's Read Across America month or Read Across America week or Read Across America day, but March 2nd is kind of the keystone to that because that's Dr. Seuss's birthday. So years ago, this is not something new, but I am just resharing it out in case it's something you want to grab a hold of. I did a template, a one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish sorting template. And I've got a link in here that will take you to that blog post again from, I think, like 2017 or something. This one goes back a ways. This is not a new resource, but it's an evergreen one that you can always use. And the blog post will take you through to get your own copy of the template and explain how all of it works. But I went ahead and made a copy ahead of time just to show you real quick. So the idea is, let's tie into what our students are doing. They're learning about Dr. Seuss's birthday. They're doing Read Across America week. Well, let's do some cross-curricular connections here. So this is all about sorting based upon categories here. So you got some directions that explain how this works, but basically it's just a Venn diagram where you've got some descriptors at the top. This circle says red. This circle says 1 here. We'll make this bigger. We'll go ahead and hide our panel here on the side so we can see this a little bit better. There we go. That's a little bit better. So this circle says red. This circle says 1. And then we got our fish over here. So if it's a red fish, it's going to go over here in this circle. But if it's also just one fish, it would go in this circle. So red and 1, of course, would go in the middle. If it's blue and 1, well, then it's going to go here. If it's 2 red fish, well, then that would be red, but it wouldn't be in the 2 circle. You get the idea. And some things won't go in at all. You know, the 2 green fish, well, they don't have a spot. So they're going to stay outside of the Venn diagram. And then we've got so many other ones here, you know, blue and 2, or big and green, and then small and 1, and red and blue. And then I do some with 3 different Venn diagrams there. And so you're going to be combining red, 1, and small. So we're using 3 different criteria here: the size, the color, and the quantity. And I've got multiple versions of those. And then at the very end, I've got some where they've already been sorted, and the student's job is to type in how they've been sorted. What's the rule? What's happening? You know, what is the rule that caused these to be sorted the way they are? There's a lot of different ways to be able to explore these concepts. And then finally, I do have at the very, very end just a blank one that students can use to make their own, whether it's a 2 or a 3 Venn diagram, and a bunch of fish they can use. They can copy and paste any of these that they want over onto the ones where they can build their own as well. So, hey, if this ties in with what you're doing with Read Across America and Dr. Seuss's birthday, have at it, because it's a fun activity, and I think it could be a really nice one to tie in with that as well. Good stuff. All right, love it. Let's keep on going. Let me clean up a few more of these tabs here. And so the last couple of things, just some quick FYIs here. So next up, we have the 2023 SPARCC EdTech Conference. All right, so let's talk about this real quick. So I work for SPARCC. That's where I work, the Stark Portage Area Computer Consortium. That's my day job that I talk about. Well, we have been doing for, I don't know, 15 plus years. We've been doing a conference, typically end of summer, right before the school year starts. And we had to take a couple of years to be virtual during the pandemic, but we are back in person this year, but we are going to keep a virtual element. Now, the beauty of this is it's a totally free conference. So if you say, well, Eric, I don't live in Northeast Ohio, remember, this is still a hybrid conference. So you can participate in this virtually. But if anybody is anywhere close to Northeast Ohio, hey, we would love you to be with us physically, face to face. We would love to see you. So here's the deets on this particular conference. So it's going to be Tuesday, July 18th. So we want to do this before the school year starts back up. We were running into a lot of conflicts in the first week of August where we used to hold it. Just too many things were happening. So we've backed it up to give people a little bit of breathing room before the school year starts. It'll be in person and virtual. It's going to be held at our offices. We've got a wonderful location there with lots of great big rooms that are just perfect for these sort of presentations. The sessions will course, be presented live there, but they'll also be streamed live. So if you can't attend in person, you can watch the streams, and they will be recorded. So if you can't attend that day, you can catch them, or if there's a session you missed because you were in a different session, you can catch the recording later. So what we're wanting folks to do is a couple of things. One is we're looking for proposals. We would love people who can come in person to present. Certainly that is a big focus of the conference, is getting folks back face to face, but we are absolutely open to virtual presentations for people that can't be with us, as well as pre-recorded presentations. So if something like that sounds good to you, we would love to learn from you. We're having the proposals open for the next 2 months, and would love for you to fill out a very short little proposal form there so that I can get you into the queue and see if it's something we can get you to be a part of the conference. And then also registration, totally free. Please feel free to fill out the registration as well so that you can learn with us that day and with the recordings after that as well. And of course, when you go to my blog post, the link out to the conference website is there as well. I will continue to flesh out the conference website more and more as well. All the same content is on the website itself also. All right. And yes, Peggy, that is a free conference. It is accessible virtually. So I think it's a fantastic thing. We're just trying to find the best way to be able to reach as many people as we possibly can. Good stuff. All right, let's see. What do we have left? Next up, not something new, but just kind of pulled together. Google Chrome can do that. So you might remember back in December, I did my 12 days of Chromius, but I wanted to pull all of that content together in one place where it'd be maybe a little bit easier to consume. So the idea was, back in December, I went through 12 different lesser known features or tips or tricks or helpful ideas related to Google Chrome. And so each day I made a short little video about that feature, and I made a blog post that explained how it worked. So I've just kind of pulled it all together in one place, so it's maybe a little bit easier to scroll down through here now. So we've got things like, pinning your tabs in Chrome, and a little bit of directions, as well as the video here. Then we've got icons and emojis for bookmarks or bookmark folders, using history in Chrome, the reading list in Chrome, making QR codes, Google Lens image search, live captions, incognito mode, keyboard shortcuts, extensions, and managing multiple accounts. And for each one of these, again, there's the video, but there's also the original blog post. I just give a little bit of a blurb of directions here, not a whole lot, just a little bit. And then if you want to get more, again, that video has everything in it, and also the blog post, the original blog post is there too, where you can get a whole lot more detailed information there as well. And then lastly, we had our Google user group meeting last week. And so if you didn't get a chance to take part in that, here is the link to the blog post I did that went along with that. Once a month, we hold our GEG Ohio meetings, our Google Educator Group of Ohio meetings, where we cover everything new in Google from the last month, so you can stay up to date and in front of all the changes that are coming out. And so the recorded video is here, as well as the agenda link. And if you follow that agenda link, that will let you be able to see everything that we covered in that meeting and in the video. So there's going to be a whole section in here about all of the new features that Google rolled out since our last meeting. So you'll see we had the tail end of January and most of February that was covered in this meeting. So these are all the new updates, new features, new rollouts from Google that could be beneficial for schools. We also do a show and tell section where people share awesome things they've come across recently. And we do a Q&A section where people ask questions and get support from each other. So if you haven't been a part of that in the past, I would encourage you, check out the video, check out the agenda. And then of course, we've got our next meeting coming up at the end of March. Typically once a month we have those. So if you missed that, wanted to get that on your radar as well. All right, guys. Well, I think that gets us to the end of everything. We're going to take a moment and do a little bit of a wrap up. But if you have any questions, comments, this is still a great time to throw that into the chat. Any questions or comments or resources that you want to share. And I'll take one last look. But while we're starting to wrap up here, first of all, just want to say thank you so much for, again, taking time to be with me. I really appreciate you guys joining here tonight, whether live or recorded. Remember, you can always get to these resources at bit.ly/CAA-live. We'll put that back up on the screen if that helps folks. And of course, stay connected with me. All these ways at the top of the document where you can stay connected. I'd love to learn from you guys, and then the upcoming live streams that we'll have. Hope that you can participate in some of those, because it's fantastic to have your feedback and to have your input during these sessions. All right, well, let's take a quick look and see if there's anything else popping up. Just some thank yous. I really appreciate that so much. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate the encouragement. And Peggy, I'm so glad the monthly GEG meetings are helpful as well. Thank you so much. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks again so much. I look forward to learning with you again. Please keep sending me resources, and I'm going to be excited to feature things you have shared on an upcoming Control Alt Achieve Live. Thanks again so much, everybody. Take care and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.